right, everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house. Another edition from the Newburyport studios. Hope you're doing all well out there. Our guest today, music show, gotta love it, Faith Ann out of Manchester, New Hampshire. Nicely done.
Thanks.
Faith Ann. Welcome to the Newburyport studios. Faith Ann, sounding great there. Nicely done.
Thank you.
First time on the show.
Yes.
Yes, kind
Happy
of
to be here.
I know. Well, thank you. That's fantastic. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. You had mentioned that spring allergies are in the air, and you said, who knows what we'll sound like. You sound great.
Thanks. I'm practicing my breath control on my drive here.
Oh, yeah? Is that a
Yeah.
real thing? You got real tools for that?
Yeah, I took a couple of voice lessons when I started performing because I realized that singing in the shower and singing behind your steering wheel are not the same as performing.
I can imagine that is the truth, yes. All right, Faith Ann, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from Manchester,
Yep.
New Hampshire. What else do we need to know? What do you usually use for the introduction?
I'm kind of... I don't know if you ever read the book The Alchemist.
I didn't know.
But it's a book I read a while ago, and I'm kind of living that out right now, and I couldn't be any happier with my life. I've lived quite a few lives, so I went to college to be an engineer, and while I was in college, I was a mechanical technician. I built a bunch of stuff. I got my engineering degree, did engineering, and then found yoga, and I started teaching yoga while I was an engineer and stuff. And I realized that I didn't want to sit in an office building, and it was not the life for me. And they were like, oh, maybe you just need a change of, like, industry. Yeah. So I changed industries, didn't like it, and so I was like, you know what? And I quit engineering, and then I was a high school math teacher for years.
Oh, wow.
For, like, 3 years. And I still taught yoga, and I did, like, yoga with my students and did mindfulness and stuff, and would bring my guitar in, and we would have like guitar club, and sometimes we'd like just have days after a unit would end that we would just have like free time Friday, you know, kind of just bond as a group. And I got to do that, and I was always telling my kids, like, one of these days I'm going to be famous, I'm just going to go do this. And so COVID kind of pushed that, and
COVID pushed you towards the guitar.
Yeah, towards going to do this. So I have a short bus that I'm renovating that's like almost done. And I travel. I just got back from Arizona recently, just doing a little solo tour. I had like 2 gigs out that way. So
okay.
Yep.
So while you're being an engineer and while you're starting yoga careers and then turning into a teacher, where do you start with all this? You obviously have this guitar talent kind of in your back pocket. Is that the case?
No, it's more like singing, and I'm learning to play guitar better. So
Okay.
I have a full band, and all my musicians are like way more talented than I am. But like I write songs and I sing. So
Wow. So you're a band leader. That's not an easy thing.
no, but I am also a mom, so I'm just like, and like I said, I was a teacher, so I just
Okay.
I taught Taekwondo when I was younger too, so I've always just like been in this role.
Like
somehow.
the most interesting person in the world. Okay. I have no idea. I'm usually not overwhelmed on where to start, but I have so many different directions I could go in.
Yeah.
How old are the kids, by the way?
13 and 10, yeah.
13 and 10?
Two.
Okay, 2 kids. They like mom's music?
Yeah. My son tells all his teachers about it, and one of the teachers, when I picked him up the other day, she was like, "I listened to your music." I was like, "Oh, good, that's pretty cool."
All right, well, hold on. Let's go to the start, because what kind of engineer were you?
Mechanical.
You were mechanical. Yeah, you said that. Okay, so did you think yoga would help you be better at the engineer job if you got some, lack of satisfaction there? Were you hoping yoga might help with that, and then it just didn't?
Well, they were like separate. I mean, I started going to like yoga fests and stuff because it just like at my work there were just so many like sedentary people, and you could see like the wear that it took on their body and stuff. And like I did taekwondo my whole childhood, so I always had like an interest in my meat sack, I call it.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of interesting for me. I started going because I had super bad back pains from having children. So
really, okay.
And then I couldn't walk, I couldn't lay down, I couldn't sit, like everything hurt my back. And then I started doing it, and I was like, oh my god, I can move.
Really? After the first or second?
After my second one, and plus like stress, like my son is every single one of my male friends when they were a child. So it's interesting how I find myself in that male circle of energy. It's so lovely. I can't wait for him to be an adult.
He's the 13?
No, he's the 10.
He's the 10.
Yeah,
okay.
the 13.
Ooh, you haven't even hit teen years yet.
No, the daughter's a teen. Yeah.
That's not easy either, I hear.
No, it's so wild. I keep thinking like, I'm not ready to have teenagers. Like I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, man. Well, that is too funny. Well, all right. So you do so yoga is still obviously a part of your life, and Taekwondo is a whole different discipline too, right?
Yeah, it's all just kind of led me to this like mindfulness of just like being aware of like the things I put in my body, the things I surround myself with, and
cool.
Yeah.
The music part, I can kind of pick some like possible influences, but I'm not exactly sure. Who are they for you?
So lyrically, Maynard from Tool. So Tool's my favorite band.
Tool, okay.
I love his lyrics. They've always been very profound to me. Like he sings a lot about like his mother, and my mother died when I was like 11. So it's very interesting with having children around that age too, because I'm like, I don't know what to do with past this point. I never got this far. I didn't study. So
I didn't study.
I've always liked the rhythms and just like the interesting elements in every I just went and saw them too. I cried. Oh my god, I cried. I laughed. It was so awesome.
It's a good show.
Oh yeah. And lyric and like vocally, I've always loved like blues singers like Etta James, and even like Christina Aguilera was coming up when I was a kid, and I couldn't get enough of her voice. I thought she was like the coolest.
Yeah.
So I've always liked that. I like everything. I like classic rock mostly. I like to dance too. So anything like Rat-a-Tat's like this electronic band that I dig.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Do you bring all that to the band? Is that
Yeah. So I was just writing songs on my own strictly. And I was in another band before where I learned to play bass and I sang. And then now that I've kind of gone through a couple band members. And now that everyone knows the song, or actually we have to have a new drummer now, but once everyone knows the songs, then I want to start writing more. And my writing has changed. Like on this second album that I just released in Bloom is much different than my first album.
You can show that to the camera here too.
Or Long Last.
This is your... There you go.
Yeah, that's from one of the music videos that we did. So Tree Time, that song I just did. We did a music video, and that's one of the statues in my friend's backyard. And it was really cool. We had a friend of ours film it, and a lot of local support in the community that I'm in Manchester. Like everyone just wants to see everyone succeed. And
it's another good New Hampshire music town. I've been finding that a lot lately. Portsmouth is another good one.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that far north really yet. But like the Manchester scene for us has been
great.
Poppin', yeah.
That's awesome.
Like a lot of our friends come out to support us. Like if we have a show, actually even when I was out in Bisbee, Arizona, a friend of a friend showed up. So I haven't, and I like went to Tennessee, and like I stayed with a friend, so like people I knew were there. But still,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't played anywhere that no one has showed up that like I knew.
Okay.
You know, I've always had like one person that I
Little
knew
comfort
come to see
blanket?
me. Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Although it must be I mean, you kind of seem like a no fear person. It must be kind of exhilarating to have like, it's the audience. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows what's going to come out of my mouth. Like me
Yeah.
today, you know.
Yeah.
I always think that's an interesting thing for me. Like
It
you
is.
talk to somebody who's like, you know, maybe seems quiet out. I don't really know you for the 60 seconds that we talked before the show, but
Yeah.
and then you start like singing these big notes, and it's always like, oh, okay, so that's what we got going on, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I always find that to be fascinating, and that's
Same.
probably what it's like with big audiences. Just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even like when I was in Arizona, I bussed, and some of my favorite like interactions were with these two little girls. They were so cute. They watched me play music for so long with their parents at this like flea market that I
Oh,
found
yeah.
on Google that I just happened to go by. And then I gave one of the little girls a sticker of me, which I was gonna bring you, but I had to reorder them. And 'cause I gave them all away in Arizona.
Damn.
And she put it on her Bratz doll notebook, and
Okay.
they look like this at first. I didn't realize because it looked so cartoony, and then I realized she put it on her thing, and I was like, "Can I take a picture?" And she looks at her sister. She goes, "I never seen her so excited. Like she knew me." So it was
There you
really
go.
adorable.
She's ready for you to become a star. There you go.
Yeah.
She'll be in on the early game. Then
Yeah,
that'll be good.
totally.
The actually busking, you got to be careful because you can't like intrude on people's spots, right? That's a whole new world.
It's like kind of I've only had good experiences.
That's good. Yeah, I've
Like-
heard about some bad ones.
I've had some really weird experiences. I had this one homeless guy in Canada. I usually wear a black hat, and it's from this guy. And he borrowed like a nickel or whatever, like the Canadian money is called. He's like, "Can I borrow one to like go buy us a beer?" He was like just a little short. And so we like
Yeah.
shared a beer, and he's like, "Come play over here." And he sat and watched me play the whole time.
Oh, really?
And yeah, that was pretty cool. And I had like a weird experience in Detroit. This one lady, I wasn't sure if she was gonna fight me. She was like this big lady, like giant compared to me. She's like, "Are you trying to make money?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, she's like, "Are you allowed to do that?" I'm like, "I guess I'm gonna find out." And then she asked me if I was the police, and I was like, "Are you the police?"
Yeah.
And then she just like throws her head back and cackle laughs, and I was like, "Oh, I thought I was gonna get jumped for a second. I had no
Okay.
idea what was happening."
And she stayed for the whole set
She
too. No.
like walked over to the side. I didn't even know what was happening with that. I just started laughing. I was like, "What the heck?"
Man, all right. Stories from the street. I like that.
Oh yeah, those are my favorite
Those
stories.
are favorite. All right, I want to make sure we could say you're easy to talk to, so we could do that all day. But I want to make sure we get some of
Cool.
your music out there too. What do you got next for us?
All right, so this song's kind of funny. This song's called One Night, so you'll figure out what it's about. But my son, that's 10, he likes singing this.
How can't you stand, friend? Can't say I blame you. Your mind is racing, but there's nothing you won't do. Play your angle, no hesitation. Skip it and get right to conversation. Pounding cheap beer, mocking tallies. Make a joke and we'll get high down in the alley. Who'd I come with? How'd I get here? Let's ditch this place and can't get
right, Faith Ann, nicely done.
Ooh, I'm warm now.
That's right. You get comfortable in here. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like the room? It's a good sounding room, right?
Yeah, it is a
It's-
good sounding
yes.
room, totally.
I say that every show. The answer's never been like, no, I hate it.
This
So
room sucks, I'm out of here.
yeah, I just keep going with it since people always give a good answer. I think it sounds good. You sound great. This is
Thanks.
fun so far.
Cool. Glad you don't hate it.
See, yes, I tend to say that too. But no, genuinely, you sound fantastic.
Thanks.
And yeah, we caught onto that lyric pretty good.
So when we were recording it, we had like gang vocals. So we drove out to Ohio, my whole band, and we recorded in a friend of mine's church that he turned the whole church into a recording studio.
Oh, you
So
did
we got
that
to
song in a
crash it.
church.
Yeah, that whole album is done in a church. And so it was super funny, but so we had like gang vocals, and I'm like, everyone has to shout something that's not the lyrics at least once while we're like shouting, because my son and I will say like walnut or like walnut or just like whatever and just shout it funny. So
Wow, that is okay. The visual of you doing that song in a church is I'm sure you've had years to laugh about that, but for me it's very funny here right off the bat.
We had so much fun.
That is funny. All right, so what do you prefer? Do you like doing the solo thing, or do you like? I mean, I know you love your band, but I know there's different rewards for each.
There are different rewards for each.
Yeah.
It's easiest for me to travel
Yeah.
on my own, because I sleep in my car, or like I met someone at open mic in Tucson. They let me crash on their floor, and then we woke up in the morning and he taught me how to do stocks. And he was like doing the stock market, and he was really nice. He plays music too. He's on Spotify, and like, so I have like some really cool stories happen when I travel solo.
Okay.
So I really love that, because I like to be like a vagabond and just like do whatever, like I have my kids most of the time, so I'm always like forced to be in this role of like, what are we doing? Well, I don't know what we're doing. I haven't figured it out. So when I'm on my own, it's like I don't have to answer to anybody but myself. I like that. I love. But I haven't done it yet with my band, so I love the way it sounds. It's so cool when you write music on your own, like before you ever learn to write music with other people.
Yeah.
And then like you teach your song to someone else, and then they add parts to it, and you're like, whoa, like, oh my God, like that's the song that I gave them. Like,
Yeah.
So I love playing with the full band. Like,
It brings some of them to life.
yeah, it's really cool. I love singing my own words. Like, I put so much thought into them.
Yeah.
They all have like so many meanings, and like I do covers when I do solo, because usually when I do solo stuff, I'm playing for like 3 hours and stuff, or like however long.
Yeah.
And I don't have that much original stuff. Yeah, eventually,
And you have those annoying people that just can't. They open themselves up to new music, right?
Yeah, and that's what's kind
I'm
of
just kidding.
hard.
I get it, but it is. I do.
Booking places, they want
Exactly.
you to play. People want, and I've had people request songs, and it's like,
Yeah.
even if it's a song that I think is super overplayed, sometimes it's what makes that person's night, and that's enough
Yeah.
for it, and it's like
I get
fun.
that. I wish more places would like be open to just having original artists in there.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what like festivals are good for,
Yep.
and that's why festival season coming around is like exciting,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm excited to do the Higher Ed Battle of the Bands, because that's a festival that's up in Maine, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of new bands.
And that's in
go.
April. That's just a legit competition you're in.
It's a bunch of competitions. So my friend's band is playing tomorrow night at the Battle of the Bands, and there's just going to be like tiers of like winners that'll
okay.
keep going, and then they'll get a chance to perform on like the whatever stage. But if you're in a band that performs, you get to go to the show anyway. So that's
Yeah, those are, and it's really. I mean, winning would be cool, but it's really not about that, right? It's just get exposure to more people.
yeah.
That's
So
just
it'll
like
be fun. Everyone's winners.
Yes, that's right. Again, we're joined here by Faith Ann, musician out of Manchester, New Hampshire, singer-songwriter, band leader,
Yeah.
mom,
Yeah, I do a lot of
mom to
things.
two crazy people.
Yeah. One's crazier than one is just a lot of energy. He's like, you ever try to like hold Jello?
No.
Like warm Jello,
Why-
like in the middle of summer.
Why
That's
are you
trying-
holding warm Jello
I
so
don't,
often?
but like that's trying to contain my son. Today I was trying to get him out the door to school, and I found a box of tacks, and he's in his backpack. He's not allowed to bring anything. And then I was like, no, buddy, you can't bring this. So for some reason, he thinks that if he puts them in a bag, that
Like
he'll be-
thumbtacks or like the eating tacks?
yeah, like thumbtacks.
Oh, okay.
So then I reach in his backpack and I grab a bag of tacks and I stab my whole hand.
Ow.
I'm like, this child, no tacks.
No more of that. You've hurt mom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. So what's the band breakdown? Is it 4-piece?
Yep. So we're 4-piece.
I don't know why I guess 4-piece. No, it's just
Yep.
common.
They were the Fab Four.
You're the Fab Four?
Drummer,
So the
bassist
drummer's
and
leaving, though, you said?
Yeah, the drummer's leaving.
That's not an easy one to replace.
Nothing is ever easy to replace. But it's interesting how, like, it's more than just finding a drummer. You have to find a drummer in this style. And then it's more than just finding a drummer in that style. You have to find a drummer in that style that you get along with and that likes your music. And so we tried out a couple drummers, and the guy that we've been drumming with recently, I'm excited about. And he has some stuff in his kit that I've never had a drummer play before. So it's interesting how inspiration just comes from anywhere. So like playing with a drummer more, you know, like on the second album, and now that I've been in this band, I start writing music like with parts in my head for other instruments, or like, even though I can't always communicate drum parts. There's like a meme about it. It's like when the guitarist is trying to explain to the drummer, and the drummer's like, and the guitarist is like, what is he saying?
There's so many stories about that, like throughout music history. Like some of the biggest artists of all time will be trying to, you know, explaining saxophone solos to this sax player, and you're not a saxophone player. Trying, no, it goes more like this. And like, what are you doing? What is that humming noise you're making? Like, you know, it's funny. And you know, you mentioned the replacing the drummer thing. I mean, what a week to talk about it. Of course, the Foo Fighters.
Oh, I
lost,
know.
Taylor Hawkins. That's the first mention of that.
Yeah.
We've made today, but hopefully the Foo Fighters are doing okay.
Like,
and
I don't think people understand how close you end up getting with your bandmates unless you've ever been in a band. Like, when I would listen to music, and that's why I started crying at the Tool concert, because I'm like looking at these homies on stage that are just homies. They're literally chilling with each other on the stage. They've been doing this for so long, just like building each other as musicians and like fine tuning themselves, and like it's like being in a relationship with all these other people, you know, like and their families too. Like, if your drummer's, you know, wife needs more support at home, then your band practices don't happen, and then, you know, you got to figure out, like, where's this band trying to go, and then you got to figure out how to not take it personally, and like not take it personally as like you're gonna miss them, but you need a drummer, so it's like, dang, I need a drummer now,
band dynamics.
Yeah.
Not easy. Hopefully the Foo Fighters were supposed to headline Boston Calling, so I don't know what is going to happen with that. But, he made Taylor Hawkins rest in peace. It's a sad one. I always get, do you do this like whenever, like, even if they're not my favorite artists, like I've had artists that I never kind of liked maybe, but whatever. But whenever something tragic happens to a band, or I remember, I always do this. I always go through these phases of like listening to that band or listening to that artist for like, it's not like days or weeks, like it will be months. I went through, after Prince died, I listened to Prince for like a year straight, and like way too much Prince probably, but.
That's what happened with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe it. I
That's
was like, I
another
didn't
one,
even know I liked Michael Jackson that much.
I know. It's weird that we do that. Tom Petty, I did that for way too long. I think
when
I'm still
Heath
doing
Ledger
that.
died, I was like, I can't believe I'm crying so much.
I know. You don't know the person,
you just like
but
think of the role, or even like Robin Williams.
Yep,
you know, like
same,
wherever. You don't know these people, but like they have, like you think about them enough that
it brings back moments for you because their art impacted your life.
Right.
So that's what it is, I think. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's just us either. I think it's I think like the numbers show that, like, you know, Spotify hits go up or something by 1 million, or what number am I throwing out there? I have no idea. But that's like
I heard on radio, it's facts.
Yes, exactly. But I think that is a thing. But I don't know. My wife makes fun of me all the time for that. She's like, "Oh, somebody died."
Yeah.
We're listening to be a lot of months of this. But that's what I'm doing right now with Foo Fighters. So.
Yeah, every radio station, I think.
Yeah, true. But all right. Well, anyway, back to the regular scheduled programming here. What is the? It's usually at this point in the show, I'd ask you to like give me some fun fact about yourself, but I've already got so many of those from you. What is your? Were you from here originally, New England?
Yeah, I grew up in Nashua.
Okay.
And then I lived in Hollis for a little bit, and I've landed in Manchester. I've been in Manchester the longest, and
you like to get out there and be in the Midwest, though. You love it out there, yeah.
I love traveling.
You make an extra effort to get out there.
Yeah. I'm probably going to end up like driving my bus out there and leaving it there so that I can sometimes fly to it and not
gotcha.
have to do both ways,
Oh,
or
that's
like
interesting.
drive one way or whatever.
A little strategery.
Yeah, and I've got like friends out there at this point.
Yeah.
The more, honestly, I just want to like live everywhere and have nothing, you know, like you just happen upon like such beautiful people that are just like awesome human beings. And
The crowd's different out there?
you know what? Every place I go, I find home.
Yeah. Good.
And like the one bar, I was in this one bar, I came upon to this like celebration of life. I called earlier to see if they were having open mic, but they were like, no, we're having a celebration of life. But it was this biker bar, so I was like, oh, I'll check it out anyways.
Yeah.
And it reminded me so much of my home bar at home. And this place was packed. They were like, oh, you play music? Like, let's get you on the stage. So I ended up playing music. I met this chick, Taylor, also awesome musician. And like, it was just like so cool. So everywhere I just gravitate towards the
Turn the biker bar into your bar. That's good.
Yeah, I played some Black Sabbath and they were singing along and it was pretty dope.
That is good.
Ate all their snacks.
Yeah, any bad? You ate all their snacks.
Oh yeah, they had like a lot of food like out because it was like a big like thing. So they had some really good blueberry cake.
I've never found blueberry cake that was that good.
Never had a bar for free. Never.
Yeah, true. Well, so you never had a bad audience though. Never any. No, you haven't had the musician horror story.
The worst stories I've had still weren't even really all that bad. I think the worst show I ever had, I couldn't hear myself. The bartender was making my drinks too strong, so I was like, I only really need. Or don't need. I just like to have one, maybe two, and that one by the end of the drink, I was like, goodness, this is too much. And I ended up, people were like, oh, you did great, and I didn't want to hear it. I just like,
you didn't think it sounded
home.
good.
I was so angry. I was like, I sounded like crap. I don't want to hear anyone tell me I sounded all right.
Yeah.
And then like really the worst shows are when you're not being paid attention to. So like with the solo stuff, sometimes I'll play restaurants and like you're just playing background music. You know, not everyone's clapping after every song. You're just like, I could fart into this microphone right now. No one would notice. Like,
I always say that like breweries I find can be tough on people. Some are better than others. But, But like sometimes people just go for the beer and they don't really care that person's pouring their heart and soul into the music. Yeah, I found like ways around it. Like I make all these crafts and stuff. So normally I have like a merch table that's like set up and is that a way to like draw people in and then once they're in, you got them?
Yeah, it makes people like at least pause when they're walking by and listen to you. Sometimes they'll like put money in your tip jar or whatever, and
that's smart.
It makes you just interesting, kind of like. Older people love me. I love them so much. Like old ladies always want to come over and like tell me how adorable I am. I'm like, you're adorable.
Old soul. There you go.
Yeah.
You have like a almost when I was trying to put my finger on it, especially with that first song. I felt like almost like a little like. Is there like a Cranberries influence or something?
Oh yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah. Actually, this one girl, she wanted me to play Zombie at the last show, and I was like, man, I haven't played this song in so long, but it's like the same 4 chords, so I'm getting better at just like winging it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, there's just a little bit of that I noticed at first, but what do you get another one for us there?
Yeah, totally.
Do you like playing live?
I love playing live.
No stage fright?
I get so scared.
In like a good way though?
In like a good way. Everything I love to do scares me. Like like riding motorcycles or like dancing with fire. There's like a little bit of fear.
Is that dancing with fire? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Right,
have you ever heard of like fire poi? I spin poi, and I've got like friends that are like so talented, and they do like dragon staff and like super cool stuff.
Wait a minute. All right, hang on. More on this. So this is like a holding fire, like what?
Yeah. So I have these. I need to go down. So there's a place that's local that.
Oh, you have fire. Does that say fire on the?
Wildfire.
Wildfire. Oh, okay.
Yep.
There we
go.
So
there's like these knobs, and then there's like a string, like a tether, and they're normally like Technora or whatever. And then there's a ball, and you can do them with just lights, and you dance with them. That's why I like the electronic music because they're big. Like
lights seem safer than fire.
Yeah, so you can do them with both, or you do them fire. And I brought them to Arizona when I went, and on one sunrise I went to a hole in the rock. This little spot, and I spun fire right up there and got majestic video.
Wow. All right. We might have to do a whole show on that at some point.
I know, it's a lot of fun.
All right. What's the next one you're going to play?
Okay, this song's called Jungle Law.
All right. Faith Ann on Joppa Afternoon Drive.
I'm unsure of little things like beating around a burning bush, and they tell me I'm wicked and I'll never be enough. So I don't do no dances for men with picket fences. Can't tell I'm grinning while I'm showing you my teeth, and I'm hard up for giving much about what you think of me. And I'm living for the day when there's just the one without you in it. Oh, just the one without you in it. At me all along, ain't doing right if nothing's wrong, and I ain't no living house pet. I don't sit pretty,
Nicely done. Faith Ann on Joppa Afternoon Drive, live at Drew's house. You get the applause from outside. That's big.
Always so grateful when I hit the last chord right.
Well, yeah, tough to get out of that when you get that one wrong. Damn it.
You're like, oh, slide, where's that note I want?
It sounded great. I like that one a lot.
Thanks.
Damn,
yeah.
I like them all, but I was getting like energized on that one.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting warm. Getting bouncy.
It would be all say, you're not playing tonight, are you?
Huh? No, Friday.
You could take this momentum right into the...
Oh, my gosh.
Next time we're going to have to book you on the show, and there will be another time, hopefully.
Yes, totally.
Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. But we're going to have to book it when you have a show that night. A lot of people do that. They use it as a mini, like, kind of get loose and then kind of go to where they're going.
Nice, that's pretty cool.
I try to steal a lot of people. I'm like, you're already doing this.
Yeah.
We could have you on the show, and then see.
Yep.
It's my little trick.
You already have your stuff.
It's my little merchandise trick. See? Yeah, you already have your stuff. Excellent, though. Faith, and let's get out where you can find the music again. Tell everybody where to go, all that stuff.
So thefaithandband.com.
No E on N.
No E on N. On N, right. On N. I know my middle name, I swear. Your homegirl learned how to use the internet and made herself a website, so I'm happy about me figuring out that.
Internet and stocks. Look at you.
Internet and stocks. You probably don't want to consult me. I also changed my own spark plugs the other day, so if all y'all, and my own coil packs, which are like all right there. So if you know about cars, you're not impressed. But
you
if
get
you
a
don't,
van going across the Midwest. You got to know these things.
Oh my gosh, I know. I learned how to use an angle grinder, JB Weld. I learned so many things.
I'm so not a car person. See, this is like, I'll pretend like I know, but oh yeah.
I've got good friends. I mentioned the friends thing. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of help. My dad has always described me as like the person that will jump before they look over the edge. Like, but I'm getting better at that.
that kind of spills into your music. You can feel that.
Yeah, and like
you just kind of go, count off and go.
Right. Yeah. So my first album is called Long Last, and like me finding my voice is like huge because my mom was a beautiful singer, and I like always loved her. My dad's got a great voice too, but I always, I probably think of her differently because I don't remember her. So you have like the rose glasses, but I always love listening to her sing. So it's really cool that now I get to sing, and like that seems like a connection that we have, even though she's not like here for it. But and then my name is a gift to me. My mom's best friend was named Faith Ann, so I'm named after her. So I keep it in the band name as kind of like a way to honor her because she also is not with us. So it's like she didn't get to live out this name. So it's like, okay, this isn't my name. This is like just a name, and we're just gonna like have fun, man. Like do all the fun stuff.
Do you like feel them on stage sometimes?
Yeah, I honestly like when that thing happened in Arizona when I walked in and everyone had such nice things to say about this lady. And then so when I went up to play music, I was like, I don't know all of you. I don't know any of you guys. Like I'm a stranger here in a strange town or whatever, and I feel so loved. Like this lady, I never met her, but like I feel her love and like the family that you guys all have, and like I am just so blessed that I just tend to have this thing that follows me of just like goodness, and just I feel like if you just want the best of any situation, you find it, even like weird situations, you're like, oh, I got out of that. That's cool. At least I got this cookie out of it.
You seem like I'm guessing you seem to be a very positive person. Do you have bad days?
Oh yeah, totally. I get so mad, and I'm so grateful that I have music.
You get so mad? What does so mad translate into? A song?
Yeah. That last song, Jungle Law, is about I write about a lot of stuff that makes me angry. It's like if it makes me angry or I love it a lot, boom, songs.
Perfect.
Both
I think Alanis Morissette made millions off that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
More than millions, maybe. I don't know.
But I just like I'm about being open about everything and not like having any shame for stuff, and just like acknowledging that people are experience emotions. It's like okay, and just like you have an obligation to yourself to choose what your higher self wants. Even like I might want to smash my clock, but I'm not going to do that because the ticking's driving me crazy. I can easily just take the battery out of the clock like a normal human being. Like you don't need to make my life more difficult.
Oh man, very cool. Well, this has been really fun meeting you. I hope you enjoyed it because we've enjoyed having you in the studio. Like I said, you got the outside applause, which is kind of the barometer. Like when that's happening, you're genuinely impressive. You don't always have to get the outside applause. That's been. And I should say thank you to Sarah Blackstone, also producing the show today. I'm trying to make a note to remember.
And happy birthday.
And happy birthday. Look at you. Good job.
I love birthdays. People getting older is so exciting.
That is fantastic. I'm glad we had that moment. That was good. We'll sing to her later. I think. at the end of our day. But and now she can drink. She's 21 or would you whatever. No, I'm just.
I was gonna say, oh my god, wow.
That's just me being.
That's so exciting.
That's me being hilarious. Just ask me. I'm very funny. No. But again, Faith Ann, Manchester, New Hampshire. Get out and see her on the road. Go on to that website and find all her dates. You try to keep up with everything.
Yes.
Okay.
And the music is on there too, so you can listen to
Awesome.
the things that I've heard with a full band.
If you like what you heard here, there you go. You can check with the
Catch
full
me
band.
online. How about that?
There you go. You want to play us out with one?
Sure.
Pleasure meeting you. Faith Ann,
Nice
Manchester, New Hampshire. This was fun. Live at Drew's house. We'll see you later, everybody. We'll let Faith take us away. We'll see you next time.